everyone. So I have a daily goal of trying to fill myself with light before I get filled with darkness. A few ways that I do this is by getting in the sunlight, but one of the other ways I do it is by reading this book, A Course in Miracles. It's a foundation for inner peace. There's no author to it, but my neighbor lent the book to me after my friend sent me a random YouTube video. And so it was really amazing that this book found me at the time that it did. This passage that I wanted to share with you is called The Escape from Darkness. So here it is, okay? The escape from darkness involves 2 stages. First, the recognition that darkness cannot hide. This step usually entails fear, right? We know from knowing what we know by biology, fear is an increase of cortisol. It's an increase in the sympathetic side of our nervous system. If we have too much fear, it leads to insulin resistance and disharmony within the cell. Okay, shall continue. Second, the recognition that there is nothing you want to hide, even if you could. This step brings escape from fear. When you have become willing to hide nothing, you will not only be willing to enter communion, but will also understand peace and joy. Holiness, which is like wholeness, not necessarily like in a religious sense. You know, we say holiness, that person is holy. You can spell it Holines, or you can spell it wholeness, Wholeness. Hope I didn't spell that wrong. But wholeness, to be whole, like the whole of the cell, the balance of the charge of the cell. We love wholeness. So holiness can never be really hidden in darkness, but you can deceive yourself about it. This deception makes you fearful because you realize in your heart it is a deception, and you exert enormous efforts to establish its reality. The miracle sets reality where it belongs. And in this book, they talk about the miracle being the lens of truth. Like, you can either wake up with having a lens out into the world that everything is going to go bad, everything is going against you, or you can have the lens of truth and that beautiful things are coming your way. The truth of the matter is that miracles are waiting to happen. Like, somebody is, going to offer you opportunity. You're going to meet your best friend for the next 48 years today. You're just going to have a beautiful world. Like, what lens do you want to see through, light or darkness? Not to interrupt us too much. Okay, reality only belongs to spirit, and the miracle acknowledges only truth. It thus dispels illusions about yourself and puts you in communion with yourself and God. So I had a big issue with God, the term God, as I was growing up, because I grew up Catholic and then I became like an atheist. I wondered, why do people put such faith? Why do people go to church and then they come out of church and they still don't, honor, what they've learned? Or, why during Lent, when we have a fasting on Friday, people still gorge themselves with fried foods, and, we don't practice fasting and wholeness within the body. So that really disturbed me. But now I know too, after learning about, more on physics and more how we're all connected through a web of happenings, that God is just the quantum fields. If you're not familiar with the quantum field, you can look up videos on YouTube. They have them. It's what we know about physics so far. And what we know about science and physics, it confirms what the religious teachings have taught. So that's why I really like the Eastern approach to everything, as in the Eastern view of the yin and the yang, and specifically this book that I read called The Tao of Physics. It talks about how religion is supposed to teach like biology and wholeness and peace and stillness within the cell. So I really love it in that way. I just wanted to make that note on how I've overcome my negative connotations with the word God and how I view it as just the all happenings that are around us. And peace and joy and clarity, not necessarily like one entity, one person. Okay, the miracle joins in the atonement by placing the mind in the service of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is viewed of the breath. We breathe in respiration. Every single breath is the Holy Spirit. So they are supposed to teach that in religion. A lot of times we have trouble in making that connection. This establishes the proper function of the mind and corrects its errors, right? So when you're feeling like you're in a good state of mind, like there's a difference between you who has been fasting for 5 days, maybe you're going into a psychosis and everybody's out to get you, and or you're in a place of stillness where you've gotten your amino and your fatty acid, you've gotten everything you needed, and your lens of perception is completely different, right? The foods that you're putting into your body, either it's going to help you see light or it's going to contribute to you seeing darkness in the world. So restoring of the function and corrects its errors, which are merely lacks of love. Your mind can be possessed by illusions, but spirit is eternally free. If a mind perceives without love, it perceives an empty shell and is unaware of spirit within. But the atonement restored spirits in its proper place. The mind that serves spirit is invulnerable. Darkness is lack of light, as sin is lack of love. It has no unique properties of its own. It is an example of the scarcity belief, from which only error can proceed. Truth is always abundant. Truth is always abundant. Those who perceive and acknowledge that they have everything have no needs of any kind. You have everything that you need. You have everything that you need inside you. Go out into the sun. And you have everything that you need. The birds are singing to you. The ground is underneath your feet. I mean, people are just waiting to smile at you and tell you how beautiful you are. That's how abundant you are. You just radiate love. The purpose of the atonement is to restore everything to you, or rather to restore it to your awareness. You were given everything when you were created, just as everyone was. So you don't need to be or do anything. You just have it. The emptiness engendered by fear must be replaced by forgiveness. That is what the Bible means by there is no death, and why I could demonstrate that death does not exist. I came to fulfill the law by reinterpreting it. The law itself is properly understood, offers only protection. It is those who have not yet changed their minds who brought the hellfire concept into it. I assure you that I will witness for anyone who lets me, and to whatever extent he permits it. So you only have to be willing. That's what they say. You only have to be willing. So tomorrow, like when I'm saying set your biochemistry up for success, you only have to be willing and open to the fact that you could be healthy and have lean muscle mass, and you only have to be willing. Like tomorrow, I will have a great day. I will wake up in the morning and make my bed. I will go out into the sunlight. You only have to be willing. I will fill my body with amino and fatty acids. Whatever food I have, I will enjoy it. Whatever it is, I will thoroughly enjoy it. I will set my biochemistry up for success. You only have to be willing. And the last part of this, those who witness for me are expressing through their miracles that they have abandoned their belief in deprivation in favor of the abundance that they have learned belongs to them. So it belongs to you. Everything that you want belongs to you. The escape from darkness. How do you escape from darkness? This is talking about darkness in the spiritual sense, but I am one to always talk about darkness in the physical sense as well, because you can go and you can look at, like, for example, the gray and the white matter of the brain. One of them is attributed more to physical movements, and one is attributed more to like intellectual side, right? So the physical always meets the spiritual right then and there. And so how do you support your spiritual health, your spiritual metabolism? You can support that through affirmations, but affirmations will only take you so far. You can only say, I am healthy, I am whole, so far as in that your actions are also backing that up. So how do I back my spiritual health, my spiritual metabolism? Our physical bodies are designed to be within the light cycle. So we digest and burn our fat and bring sugars into the cell, break down our food with the light. This is how we need to stay towards insulin sensitivity always, because we are always facing resistance. To be on earth means we are always facing resistance. As we grow older, we face more resistance, right? Gravity becomes more difficult to deal with. We don't bring energy into the cell as much. Our blood sugar doesn't stay stable. Our emotional state doesn't stay stable. Our balance and coordination doesn't stay stable. So how do you back your spiritual metabolism? You back it with your physical. So weight training and putting on muscle. You're creating light when you work out. When you go into the sunlight, you're training your body to break down the amino and the fatty acids. You're creating and synthesizing vitamin D, which is a pro-hormone. We need vitamin D. We need it. We look at it, we call it a vitamin, but we need it, And you back your spiritual nature by the foods that you're eating too. There are certain foods that cause a greater separation, a greater, I'll say pit of darkness. Like I was addicted to Ben and Jerry's years ago. Ben and Jerry's ice cream, the hot fudge brownie. But if you look at the ingredient label, it like mimics what a dog food has on it, right? It's full of preservatives, it's full of chemicals. And while it brought me so much joy in the moment to be eating it, as it was so tasty, afterwards it left me feeling more empty. And it took me a long time to break away from that and to actually understand where my cravings were coming from. You know, I was in a state where my body was craving something because it didn't have what it needed. So then I started to fill my body with amino and fatty acids early in the morning. What is a craving? It's your body saying, I need something I don't have. So from a physical standpoint, we have energetic requirements, we have dietary requirements, and that's why we call the amino and fatty acids, we call them essential. If you look it up, essential amino acids, essential fatty acids, because we can make amino and fatty acids to a certain extent within our body through our central metabolism, but we have physical requirements. We need more. We need fuel, right? How's your car going to go if you don't put gas in it, or if you don't plug it in? If you have an electric car, how is your car going to go if you don't have fuel in it? So always back your spiritual metabolism through your physical, even if that's just your morning routine, what the first 4 hours of your day look like. Fill your body with light. Those amino and fatty acids, they're just code for light. They're code for the proteins that you want to make. They're code for the collagen. You want to get your hair, skin, and nails better. You know, fill your body with what you want, you know, to come out of it. And then you can find a place of wholeness and where your physical nature meets your spiritual nature. And like in this passage, it says, escape from darkness. It's where you find your peace and your joy. You know, so I've had a lot of people ask me, I've been on this journey for a really long time, Rachel, you ever get sad? You're always smiling. I've been through so much sadness. I cry all the time, even still. But I know the steps that I need to take to fill myself with light. And there's also in that capacity, in that same little thing, when you're embracing the light, it becomes easier to let go of the darkness that you have. Everybody has darkness. Everybody has shadows. I heard this quote, kiss your shadows, you know. Let go of the parts of yourself that you don't need anymore. And that's easier said than done all the time. But that's part of your spiritual metabolism. Work with your physical metabolism with that. You'll be helped to let go if you work with your physical nature, right? There always can be met in the middle. The yin and the yang, the balance, the beauty, the wholeness, the bothness of who you are. Both your feminine and your masculine balance, your spiritual nature and your physical nature is so beautiful. You are so beautiful. You're so gorgeous. Go look in that mirror. Go look at your body. Go break it down and be like, I am literally, when you go stand in front of a mirror, you are a public speaker, because there are trillions of these cells. This is your audience. These are your babies. And you're speaking to them. Your body understands every single thought that you're saying to yourself. So be mindful of what you're saying to yourself. Do not speak negative and darkness into you. Do not speak negative and darkness into you. Speak light into you. And if you don't believe it, if you don't fully, truly believe that you are in a space of light and deserving of love, which I've been there before, you can say, I am actively working towards my wholeness and my health and my balance and my peace. I am working towards this with every single breath that I take. Every morning that I wake up, I am working towards this. And you get there because you are affirming that. You are affirming that. You are speaking the future into existence. And, you know, you deserve it. You deserve it. So anyway, I hope this video is helpful for you. If you want to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel, you're more than welcome to. I am your #1 fan. If you need help, if I can assist you through conversation, help you work through some of the things that you're going through spiritually, physically, reach out to me. Probably either through Facebook or Instagram is the best way to do that. I may or may not have my email in the description, but I'm here to help you if you need help in any way. So anyway, I wish you the best of luck. Until next time, good luck.